Hello and welcome to my world. Here is what we're eating for breakfast today. We had this delivered to our room by the robot, and we have some Shinjin some pot stickers, and some dragon fruit. Now we had the dragon fruit from before. That wasn't delivered. We brought that over from the other hotel, the Berksea Residence Hotel, that my mother-in-law gave us some dragon fruit. But this is what we're eating for breakfast today, and we have a busy day today. We're going to be heading over later on. We're going to head over to the Bund, and I'd love to show you what that's like. It's one of my favorite parts of the city. I tried to show this yesterday, but I didn't get a good view of it, so now I'm across the street, so I got a better view. So this is our hotel. This is the UR Cove Hotel, which is actually owned by Hyatt. And if you don't make this light over here, it's about a 5-minute walk. But if you do make the light, and it's only about a 2-minute walk right across the street to the subway station, which is right here. See that building right there with the red M on it with the circle around it? That's the Shanghai subway station right there. That's line 14. And you can take this line 14 it connects with all the other lines. So this hotel is very convenient. So after a rather crazy taxi cab ride, a few scary moments there, driving against oncoming traffic, but we are now going to have lunch here at this mall called Park Place. So it's a place that my wife has never been to. I've never been here either. So let's go inside and check it out. So this is the place that we're going to be eating our dim sum lunch at. And dim sum is a little bit different here. And I'll show you in a second how it's a little bit different than back home. So the way, it's kind of noisy in here. It's a typical dim sum restaurant, really loud, but the way hopefully you can hear me. The way dim sum works here is instead of having the carts, people pushing the carts around and you pick from the carts, because there's no room here in the city, the restaurants are a little smaller. So you pick from a menu like this, as my wife is showing here, and you just mark with a pencil what you want, and then they'll just take this menu and take it back to the kitchen and make it for you. See that? You just check off whatever you want. It's a little bit different than back home. We're used to San Francisco style dim sum. Okay, my wife just corrected me. We're even more out of date here. You don't typically use the paper menu anymore. You typically just scan this QR code right here and you order with an app on WeChat, which is a Chinese payment app and a social networking type of app kind of thing. But we don't have that, so that's why we're doing it the old-fashioned way. Use that bad boy. Here's some of our, just a tiny bit of our lunch. I'm gonna chow down and put the camera away. One of the neat things is, when you eat squab, they give you these cool plastic gloves to wear, so you don't get your hands greasy. I notice they do the same thing in Japan too. Pretty cool. We always have tripe whenever we eat dim sum. And here's our last item, puff pork pastry and cold mango soup over there for dessert. A little something rare. Here's an Audi RS6 Avant. Something we don't see too much in the US. So here we are, we're on our ride home from the mall. Here's Jianan Temple, one of the landmarks here, just down the street from our hotel. So here we go. Let's see if we can capture any crazy action on the drive back. Oh, there's a G-Wagon right there. Cannot imagine somebody feeding the gas on that thing, given the gas prices here. So on the right there, that black car, that's a BYD battery powered car. But if you notice, a lot of the BYD cars here actually have the whole name of the company on it. Instead of just BYD, they actually say Build Your Dreams on them, which is funny sounding if you're into if you're an American car guy like me, and BYD's planning to sell their electric cars in the US within the next few years. They better do something about that name. They better just put BYD on it, because Build Your Dreams sounds very awkward to English speakers. So we prefer our cars to have cool names: Mustang, Camaro, Corvette, you know, stuff like that. But Build Your Dreams, yeah, just sounds awkward. There you go, feel some of that electric power instant torque with the wonders of having a flat torque curve in your vehicle. So we're going to camp out at the hotel for a little while, get a workout in before we head out to the Bund later tonight. So I'll be taking you with me.
It's only 1 o'clock.
And nope, not going to yield for the cleaning lady. Nope. Here we go.
We're supposed to go to the Bund around 4, right? We leave at 4. That's about, maybe about 3:30. Okay,
So I'm actually sitting in the front seat of the cab, as you can tell. And normally I don't sit in the front seat because it's too terrifying. But my wife wanted to sit in the back seat. So. And we're right here. Nope, just like back home. They've got tractors clogging up the streets too. There you go, look at that guy. The Lawn King. Check that out. That's a cool one. That one's blue. It's the first one I've seen that color. Okay, the robot's gonna join us. Okay, I'll make sure we give the robot some room here. The robot's gonna join us. The robot's going up to the 12th floor. So the robot is gonna join us for the ride here. One thing, if you notice too, kind of interesting, they do not have any 4th floors on their elevators. The number 4 is associated with death. But they do have a 13th floor, if you notice so.
gotta squeeze around this thing.
So it's on the 12th floor. And there it goes. Bye-bye. We're back at the UR Cove Hotel, just relaxing in our hotel room because it's about 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And it's one thing about Shanghai is that during the summertime it's hot, muggy, and humid, and during the wintertime it's very cold and it often snows in the winter. So nobody moves to Shanghai because they love the weather. So we're just going to take a break here and take a shower, and we just got done exercising in the workout room, and then we're going to head out later when it cools down a bit. But one thing that I forgot to mention when I did a room tour is that the UR Cove Hotel also has one of these slots where you put your key card in it to turn on the power in the room and to turn on the HVAC controls. And I found out that unlike all the other hotels I've stayed at here in China and also in Japan, this slot here does not work with ordinary cards. And I found that whenever I mentioned in the other hotel room how I showed how I used my old Costco gift card in there and it worked just fine. Well, this one, it didn't work. So right here are the selection of cards that I've used, and I have 2 old expired Costco gift cards. Neither of those worked. I have my old Chipotle gift card right here, and that did not work. And interestingly, the 3 cards that did work were transit cards. So this is a Taiwan iPass card. This is a Japanese JR Suica transit card, and this is a Shanghai subway transit card. All 3 of these on the left work just fine. So there must be something about the UR Cove's electrical system, the card reader thing. It's not a simple mechanical switch that as long as you slide any plastic card in there, it will trigger the switch and you have power. The power will stay on the whole time. But this one's a little bit more sophisticated and actually reads off some of the magnetic data off of the cards in order for it to work. So I didn't want to leave any of my transit cards in there because they're all still good. So what I did is I just simply went downstairs to the main desk in the lobby and I just asked them for an extra room key card, and it worked just fine. So anyway, just keep that in mind, that sometimes keeping your old Costco gift cards when you travel through China, sometimes they won't work to keep the lights on when you're outside of your room. So just a little heads up. So here we are at a mall in Puxi, and one thing about malls in Shanghai, they are absolutely ginormous. So many levels, and yes, usually they are confusing. So we're gonna try to go downstairs and try to find the down escalator. Here we go. Okay. And most malls in Shanghai, they always have lots of places to eat at. Usually on like one floor will be just lots of restaurants to eat at, and sure enough, this mall, here we go. Yep, another KFC. There's KFCs everywhere in Shanghai. Remember when I said Shanghainese people love to eat? Oh, here we go. Even when they go shopping, they love to eat. So, and notice this just keeps going. It just keeps going and going and going. This is how it works here. So, most American mall food courts, yeah, that's why whenever I go to a mall in America, I'm never impressed by the food choices, because I come to places like this. This is our first time here, so I don't know if this is the end of the food court area, but it keeps... Just watching this guy make fresh noodles right here, handmade. Ooh, it's making me hungry, very hungry. And they even have a Family Mart here. So anybody that's familiar with traveling through Japan, you know Family Mart. So do I. I love Family Marts in Japan. I've never been to one in China before though, so I don't know how good they are. This is interesting. This store is called The Green Party. I'm gonna take a wild guess here. I don't think it's related to the political Green Party that we have back home in the US. Just a wild guess. My son just mentioned this. Notice the name of this place. Yeah, that's, is it not awful chocolate? Gotta read carefully. Awfully chocolate. So this part of the mall is kind of like an old Shanghai section. So let's take a look, see what's down here. This is pretty cool. Look at all these old TVs here. what they've done is, looks like they've taken the old TVs and they put modern LCD screens in them. Pretty interesting. I thought this was a real guy sitting here at first when I was filming those TV screens. Is that what that is? My wife is saying this is an old style washer and dryer. This green thing. Very small. Oh, cool.
Really not dryer, because I remember there's no dryer in Shanghai.
An old phone? Nope, not working. Alright, you want to play some ping pong? Check out that ping pong table. Made out of genuine concrete. So my son and I were having a riveting game of ping pong on the concrete ping pong table over there. Had a good time. Pretty good. I haven't played ping pong in a long time, so that was fun. So my wife actually recognizes some of this stuff that they have replicated here. And she recognizes it from her grandparents. Oh, shit. Her grandparents. During her grandparents' time and stuff like that. She recognized some of the architecture and things that they replicated here. Never a shortage of places to eat at in Shanghai. Some Shanghainese style fried chicken. I've never had that before. Looks pretty good. Look at that little guy there.
We didn't go that way.
This is interesting. Modern day Shanghai post boxes, mailboxes, still look like this. Once again, I thought this was a real person here. Want some soup? Ask the soup lady. And I think this is an old baby stroller here. Look at that thing. I don't know if it actually rolls. Oh, it actually does roll. Okay. Another old style washing machine.
Yeah, and the sink look like this.
Oh, look at this. This is something my mom would be familiar with. It's a foot-operated sewing machine. My mom told me that her grandmother had one of these, and my mom learned to sew on one of these. Of course, it didn't have Chinese writing on it. My mom's grandmother's sewing machine was made by Singer. But, interesting. Wonder if it still works. My wife was just telling me this is what she used to eat for breakfast when she was a kid. She's making Shanghainese style pancakes. So that's what it looks like when it's all done.
Yeah, that's a traditional Shanghainese pancake.
Shanghainese style onion pancakes. Look at those. Ooh, man, I wish this, once again, I wish this were smell-o-vision. Smells so good. Look at those. Now my wife knows how to make something similar to this, but kind of like this. But the best we can do back home in the Bay Area, my wife can make these on our, at home. Oh man, it's making me hungry, really hungry. Okay, I couldn't resist. A little old lady made them look so good and they smell so good, so we're gonna get one of these. And my wife says she used to eat this when she was a little kid all the time. So my first time having this, I've never had this before. Sure smells good. I couldn't resist some of those big pancakes. Boy, did they look good. So here we are. We are walking from the shopping mall to the Bund, and the temperature has dropped down considerably. It's definitely not cold. It's very comfortable, but it's very nice. And one thing I've noticed is, why can't we have light up buildings back home? One thing, you come to this city, all the tall buildings have all these cool light shows and LED displays on them. Why can't we have that? I don't know. Just something you tend to notice this sort of stuff. Once you leave the US and you come to places like here, or Tokyo, or even Taipei, it's like, why can't we have nice things in America? It's just simple light shows on buildings. Wouldn't that be cool? Why can't we have it? We have great skylines in America. We've got New York, we've got Chicago. Where we live, you got San Francisco, but they don't have cool stuff on the buildings. What is up with that? But I don't know. It's just, you just can't have nice things in America. It's just the way it is. Evidently, my wife is just telling me that is an apartment complex, and a very expensive, nice one, because it has a garden in front of it called the New Bund Garden. Pretty cool. But there's the apartment buildings. One thing also I'd like to mention too is that I never feel unsafe in Shanghai. Even at night like this, it's only about a little after 7 o'clock right now, but you know, the sun's going down, it's getting dark. But one thing about Shanghai is that at least for me, I feel incredibly safe. And keep on, you're talking to a guy from California. So I've been to LA, of course, been to San Francisco, Oakland, places like that, and I would never be walking around on the streets there, even at this hour, 7 o'clock, or even earlier, because sometimes the creepy people come out at that time of night. But here in Shanghai, same thing when I walk around Tokyo too, at this time or even later, I always feel safe. Never a problem. Walk around with my expensive camera equipment out and stuff like that. You always feel safe walking around here. So if it's late at night, especially during the summertime, this is a good time to come out. When it cools down and it's safe, you can walk around. Here's a tour bus that's all lit up. Look at that. Looks like the party bus. Look at that thing. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool looking. If you look down this way, check it out. You can see some of the iconic buildings of Pudong on the right there. And we're gonna see those closer up, so stay tuned. Find these only in London. These phone booths like this, these red ones, but no, they have them here in Shanghai too. So kind of interesting. Very interesting. Have these, they look very similar to the ones in England, but they have them here too. Check out this building. Isn't that cool? It's got like jelly beans in it. I don't know what it is. I saw it on the way in when we were riding on the taxi cab, but pretty cool looking, whatever it is. This is something interesting. This is an Audi car dealership, but it's all indoors. There's no huge car lot or anything. Looks like you just buy your car here, and I don't know, I guess they ship it to you or something. I don't know, you don't buy it off the lot. Very interesting. Well, they don't have room here for a big, huge car lot like in the US. Very interesting. Here's a shopping mall right here. And look at that, even the stairs light up. Isn't that cool? Give me some light up stairs, man. I can't have that back home. Cool stuff. Always cool stuff. Okay, here we are at the North Bund, and everybody's taking photos over here, trying to get that one perfect photo, but I'm not that fussy, so I just come over here and show you one of the reasons I love this city. Absolutely love this city is the incredible view of Pudong right there. So remember I told you that Shanghai is basically divided into two major districts. There's Puxi, which is where we are right now, and on the other side of the Huangpu River is Pudong. And that's the Huangpu River right there. And that is Pudong. So that's the more modern side of the city. Whenever you see movies or TV commercials or TV shows filmed in the city of Shanghai, usually they're filmed over there in Pudong. But just absolutely gorgeous, drop dead. This is one of my favorite spots in the city, and this is honestly one of my favorite spots anywhere in the world, because you just can't see this anywhere else. It's like out of a science fiction movie or something. But anyway, let me show you some of the sights here. That tall skinny thing right there, that is Oriental Pearl Tower. And that tall spiral shaped building right there, that is the Shanghai Tower. Peeking out, I'll kind of zoom in on it right there, that is the Jinmao Tower right there in between, right there. And this building with the big hole in the middle, that's the Shanghai World Financial Center. And all of these three main buildings right there in that shot right there, those are three of the tallest buildings in the world when they were built. The Shanghai Tower on the right there is still the tallest building in China. When I first came here, they were still building that. It was under construction. And at that time, the Shanghai World Financial Center was the tallest building in China. And you can look it up. The Shanghai Tower is one of the tallest office buildings in the world, still to this day, but it is the tallest building in China. And the way they look, I always coin these terms. The Oriental Pearl Tower right there, that is the space station, because it looks like, to me, like Federation starships should be docking at it and taking on more supplies. The Shanghai Tower there, I call that the drill bit, because it's all spiraled like that. And the Jinmao Tower, I call that the Chinese takeout boxes. So it looks like a bunch of Chinese takeout boxes when they're open and they stack them up in the back of a Chinese takeout restaurant. They look like that, kind of. And the Shanghai World Financial Center, I call that the bottle opener, because the opening on top. So here we go. From left to right, we've got the bottle opener, the Chinese takeout boxes, the drill bit, and the space station right there. But just, I never get tired of this view. No matter how many times I come here, it's drop dead gorgeous. And if you ever get a chance, I urge you, please come out here and see this in person. Pictures, video, movies, TV, just do not do it justice. You have to see this in person. And we will be heading over there later today, or later in this trip. We are going to be seeing Pudong up close. And another thing that's cool is that the Jinmao Tower, the Shanghai World Financial Center, and the Shanghai Tower, like I said, are three of the tallest buildings, record-setting buildings in the world when they were built. And they are literally across the street from each other. They're within walking distance. So if you are into architecture, if you're into tall buildings, I know there's a lot of tall building enthusiasts out there, this is a must-do destination, because you can see three record-setting buildings right there within a 5 or 10 minute walk of each other. So for example, if you want to see the Burj Khalifa or the Petronas Towers or the Sears Tower, that's it. They've only got one super tall building right there. There's nothing else, no other super tall buildings to see fairly close by. But if you come here to Shanghai, you can see three of them right there within a 5 or 10 minute walk of each other. And hopefully we'll be seeing those up close later on in this trip. But we will be heading over there to Pudong later on in this trip. So stay tuned for that. Here's another close-up view of Pudong. And right in front of us is the Huangpu River. And this view never fails to impress me. And this is not the first time I've been here. been here lots of times, and still, just now, I have goosebumps on my arm as I'm filming this. And this was all built up incredibly quickly. When my wife was about a teenager, this was all farmland that you see right here. None of this was here. So it's amazing. Maybe the last, maybe 30 years, this was all built up. Just absolutely stunning. Gorgeous. And it looks different during the day too. When it's not lit up, it's just as beautiful during the day too, in a different way. So I urge anybody to come out here, come to Shanghai, come see this for yourself. Videos and pictures do not do it justice. It's just such a beautiful sight. And we are at the Bund. Now most people, we're at the north end of the Bund, so we're able to get real close here. There's not a lot of people here. So if you want to get views of Pudong, come to the north end of the Bund. That over there is the south end of the Bund right there. That's the more popular end right there, where all of the buildings are that are all lit up right there. So we'll probably see that soon later on this trip. I don't know if we're gonna walk down that way tonight. It's a kind of a long walk down there, but the Bund started out, basically Shanghai has always been a center of business in China, and international business has been going on in Shanghai for hundreds of years actually. I saw an exhibit at the Asian Art Museum in San Francisco right before the first time I came here, and in that exhibit they discussed, it was about Shanghai and Shanghainese art, and they discussed the Bund there, and they gave the whole history of it. So foreign business folks have been coming here to conduct business in Shanghai for hundreds of years, and the Bund started out as the buildings that were built by foreign countries that were doing business here in Shanghai. And now they're all government buildings, but thankfully the city has preserved them and they haven't been demolished, and they're a huge tourist attraction. Whenever people come to Shanghai, they always go to the Bund, and I love coming here because if you look at those buildings down there and the architecture, it looks like Europe. Honestly, it does. You don't think you're in China at all. The architecture, because they were created and built originally by European businesses, so they have all the architecture of European cities down there. And it just looks, aside from the red Chinese flags flying from the top of the buildings today, it looks like you're in Europe, like in Amsterdam or someplace like that. It's just, it's stunning, so beautiful. And it's right across the Huangpu River from ultra-modern Pudong. Here I can zoom in a little bit here for you so you can see the Bund, the buildings a little bit closer up there. So doesn't that look like Europe? It does to me anyway. And there's still, after all these years, lots of traffic on the Huangpu River. Always. This river, I don't think it ever sleeps. There's a huge barge right there. Just boats just constantly going by. After all these years, centuries, the Huangpu River still has a lot of traffic on it. This is like a river cruise boat coming by here. Lots of people on it. So they have lots of, in addition to all the barges and stuff, they also have a lot of tourist boats that go by here. Okay, we're gonna go catch a taxi cab, but to get to the street, we're gonna walk underneath these weird jelly bean things that we saw earlier. Pretty weird. I don't know what they are. I don't know what this building is. Neither does my wife. She doesn't know what it is. She's never been to this part of the Bund before. But pretty weird. Why can't we have big jelly beans back home? Once again, isn't that cool? The world needs big jelly beans. So we are back at the York Cove, and look who's waiting for us. Pooh Bear is waiting for us in bed. He's been in here sleeping the whole time we were gone. So, got a busy day tomorrow. We are going to be heading over to Pudong. And hopefully we're going to visit the Disney store. We'll see. Hopefully we have time for that. I think we will. So, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And I'll catch you in the next video.